Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Toon Review. A very, very quick turnaround indeed, as it's now, we go from one match review to a preview immediately the night after, where, of course, it's a visit of Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. Hopefully, another 3 points for the glorious Toon as we rise up the table and continue our incredible form under Eddie Howe, and safety is certainly ours. A lot of shows this week, it has to be said. I even had, I had a message on Twitter saying somebody was going to unsubscribe because I'd scheduled all the shows in a week, which I don't quite understand. I have to do that. I have to schedule the shows because I have to let subscribers know when going live, etc., etc. So, unfortunately, it's just something I have to do. And as most people are aware now, the Facebook group, now anybody that posts in there has to have their posts approved by admin or a moderator. So nobody can just post on there now. We've had to beef up the security, obviously, just to make sure it remains a friendly environment for everybody. We've added a couple of new moderators today, so they will hopefully be helping out a lot more, and keep the pressure off the rest of them. But hey ho, that is how it has to be. Now, one other thing with the join button, if you are on an iPhone or an iPad, it won't let you hit the join button. Now, what you have to do, and Susan told me to do this before the show, and I've completely forgotten, so I'm going to get wrong, but there will be a link in future shows. But today, what you need to do is go to the Instagram page, and if you hit the link on the Instagram page for the Toon Review, that takes you to a desktop version of YouTube where the join button is available. So you'll be able to do that pretty straightforward. If you just go to Instagram, Toon Review Instagram page, click on the link for the channel, it'll take the desktop version, and both Bobby's your uncle, you're in. Michael Marsden, thank you very much for an early super chat. $44.99, extremely kind already. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. A brilliant way to start off the show. So thank you so much for that, Michael. Brian's here. Good evening, Paul, Danielle, Alex, and Billy. Ronald's in the house. Gary, evening, Paul, Alex, Danielle, and Billy. I'll be honest, I've not come down from that 94th minute winner yesterday. The NUFC TV commentary was a lot better than Sky. Yes, it is, and mine will be better against Norwich on Saturday. I just like to put, just shove that in there. Bradley Big Toes obviously still cheering at Bruno. Be honest, all, how many times have you watched Bruno's header today?
A lot.
Yeah, I think it's certainly into double figures. I would say that.
It's different angles of the swan dive now. We can see it in different ways.
So my Brazilian swan, explanation of the goal. I wasn't far away, to be fair, was I?
No, you weren't.
That was spot on.
It was a swan dive. Pedro says, good evening, Toon Review family. I must have watched Bruno's header over and over again today. What a star, what a player, what a man. Trolls is in the house. John's back door's in the house. Malcolm's here. Majestic's here. Saying football is great, isn't it? It can be. It can be. Hit marker number one's in the house. Gary says, do you think the Palace game will be tougher than Leicester? News today was that Trips and Wilson could both be available for the Liverpool game. I'm not looking that far ahead, to be honest, Gary, but Danielle, what do you think? Is Palace going to be a bit tougher?
Possibly. However, I'll say, like I said, for the Leicester preview, we're a different Newcastle United. So again, I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Palace beat Leicester and then we beat Leicester, which means that we should really beat Palace. So that's my logic, and that's what I'm going with. I know Alex is totally going to put us right later on, but I'm living with that for now.
I think Alex has got used to your dreams, Danielle, of
I'm a dreamer.
Definitely. Thomas, good evening, and a massive happy birthday to Thomas.
Happy birthday, mate.
Evening, everyone. Ensure the show, and remember the usual: be respectful, keep the shouting to a minimum. No trolling, spamming, or duplicates. Trolling and the like will get you kicked. Indeed, it will. Thought Wolves and Leicester would be hard. We won both. Let's do the same with Palace and Norwich. I mean, Norwich, Alex, is probably a game that we should be looking to easily win. I don't rate Norwich at all, to be quite honest. Crystal Palace are, interesting side under Vieira. They lost, obviously, in the semi-final yesterday, but put up a good fight the first half. Do you think it'll be a tougher game than Leicester, or do you think it's one that we should be going out and winning?
I think it'll be a tougher game. Definitely a tougher game. They're better than Leicester at the moment. Leicester do have quality in Maddison, and Vardy's obviously not there. Their quality's dipped a bit. They've had injuries. They've not been as cohesive. Whereas Palace are a very well drilled side. There's quality there. They had effectively a mini rebuild in the summer. They had 15 departures, 13 arrivals. They completely rebuilt their squad. Etse's been great. They brought in, they got Elise, Guehi, Anderson. They got a new centre-back partnership. They got Will Hughes, who was the man that never was from Watford. Edouard in from Celtic. Jean-Philippe Mateta in as well. They had a complete rebuild and a new manager. And then they got the cherry on top, which was Gallagher from Chelsea on loan. They play either a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Nice, pretty football. They average 50% possession on the nose. They've won 7 penalties this season. They've got lots of dribbly boys, lots of shooty boys. They're a good side, and Vieira's done a good job. So we have to treat them with respect, and this will be a good game.
Speaking of swan diving, Billy, Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah, but he's a dangerous and he's a real threat. All their threat seems to me to come from wide positions. If anything, they do lack it's a goal scoring centre forward, but you can say that about 10, 11 teams in that league. They were a stale club in the Premier League under Roy Hodgson. I think he'd had enough at that stage last year. The team were getting on, aging. What Vieira's doing is actually, like Alex says, totally remodeled them, totally rebuilt them, and they've played football in a very entertaining style, and they've done really well this season. I had them down to be near the bottom, to be fair. They're much better than that, and as Alex says, I think they're going to give us a lot more trouble than Leicester did, because they're more energetic for starters.
Definitely. Ancient Amumu says, just imagine where we could be if the takeover had gone through in the summer. Well, judging on the table from the 2022, Champions League, mate. But it's just the way it is, unfortunately. So there you have it. But just the way it is. Paul Gallant, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is. Alec Covey, hi, Paul and all. Susan's Modern backstage. Obviously Thomas and Cesare here. Cesare makes a good point. RIP to Cristiano's little baby boy who passed away. Awful news. Really is.
That's terrible.
He made a statement on it was a recent statement, it wasn't on Twitter. He's made I
saw it on Sky News earlier.
Really sad. Unfortunately, just one of these things, but love and prayers to the family. B. Varga, thank you for your Australian $10. Good morning. Can't wait for the graphics, Alex. See, even people in Australia are getting up at early hours of the morning on a Tuesday to watch your graphics, Alex. It's incredible. Caitlin and Nick, this is Nick. Evening, guys. Had a shit Monday, been stuck at work for 10 hours, knackered my knee, and lost a tenner. What a day. Oh, dear.
Can only get better.
It can. George is in the house. Good evening, Jeff. Trull says we did a Lazarus yesterday and rised. Yeah, we certainly did. Paul's obviously excited. I know he's going to the game on Wednesday night for the first time in quite a long time. Guy, good evening. Hope you're well. Toon Dave says, evening all. Good to see all your smiling faces again. How are the lads? Cheswick says, happy birthday, Thomas. Don't know if you should delete the caps now. Winding them up there, definitely. Rocco still feels like he's dreaming after yesterday. Indeed. Mark and Danny Dawson, hi all. Hope you're well. F the trolls, brilliant show, best on YouTube. Thank you very much. Yeah, Niall, very correct. R.I.P. to Ronaldo's son. Terrible news it is, Niall, no doubt about it. We should beat Palace at home, says Dark by Design. The table doesn't lie. Both Wolves and Leicester are better teams. Yes, but, let's be honest here. Like Alex said before and Billy said, these are a well-drilled team now, Crystal Palace. They've got some very exciting players. So
took 4 points off Man City this year.
They have, and I think not many teams have done that.
They beat Arsenal 3-0. They kept City at 0-0.
Beating Arsenal's nothing these days, Alex. To be fair,
well,
I mean, let's be honest.
That this was before they've had their recent slump. That was when Arsenal were in a good run of form. They beat them 3-0, and they both lined up 4-2-3-1 against each other, the same formation, and they put 3 past them. So they're no joke. Despite the table doesn't show the true story because it's 13 new players. It was a rebuild, so the points don't necessarily reflect how they can play when they're playing well. I think when Palace are playing well, as we've seen with the City and Arsenal scores, they can play very well.
Yep, definitely. Are we allowed to ask why Billy left Barry's channel? You can email Billy or contact him on Twitter, and if Billy wants to tell you, then Billy will tell you. It's certainly Billy's prerogative to do that. For me, I'm not going to say. I'm keeping stum. So it's very much up to Billy. If you want to contact him, you're quite welcome to. It's good that you schedule the videos early so we know when they're on. Lots of us work, so good to know when the shows are ahead of time. Thank you. That's why.
Same for us as well, isn't it?
Well, it is. Yeah, we've got
them in advance.
Yeah, so it's just the way it is. I mean, I don't understand why people are complaining. It's just I have to do that to schedule the week ahead. So it's just the way it is, unfortunately. And it's also quite hard work from my point of view to schedule them all, thumbnails, uploading the shows and everything like that and typing out descriptions, etc. It's hard work, but, I sat all day and got it done. And then, the week ahead is all planned now. So we know where we all stand. David says, evening all. Here's an interesting stat, Alex, to verify. We have never won 3 back-to-back consecutive home matches without an away or a cup fixture since the war. The best I can see is 89-90 Division 2. Ooh, there's some homework for you, Alex.
I'll have to have a check.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, indeed. We have another super chat come in, £4.49 from Peter Furbank. Thank you very much, Peter. He likes his donations to the channel, does Peter? Very, very regular donator. Hello, everyone. Noticed when Palace played Chelsea, their heads drop when they go 1-0 down. We need to capitalise on this and go for the throat. Oh, I like that. Go for the throat. Yes, let's just go for them. Oi, oi, says Football Matters FC. Toon Blog says, Alex, any XG stats for the Palace game? Are we due another win?
Well, they score more goals than us typically per game. Slightly tighter defense, but our stats are a bit weird. It's difficult to look at our stats as a season-long thing because of Bruce and then the 2 games with an interim and then Howe. So our stats don't really give you anything. But they are basically a cleaner version of us in terms of we're on the same points. They're a bit tidier in front of goal, a bit better defensively. But they signed for that specifically. They spent a lot of money. Guehi was 23 million euros. Anderson was 17.5. So their centre backs are a lot more than we've paid for ours, for any of our defenders apart from Trippier. Actually, all of them are more expensive than Trippier. So
and they've got a couple of New England internationals, of course.
They have. So they've got 8 national team players at the moment because they've all done very, very well this season. So they've got 8 national team players in the squad. In terms of interesting stats,
but Gareth Southgate doesn't pick anybody for England north of Watford Gap, to be fair.
Well, yeah, there is that. In terms of XG stuff, there's not. Well, there's no. You can't do XG. You can't do predicted XG. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. I mean, they've scored 39 goals from inside the box, 4 from outside. So they tend to be a little bit more get it into the box, finish off a nice, pretty picture. That's how they play.
Yeah.
1 red card all season, so not too dirty. 10 shots
which is a surprising fact given who their manager is.
Yeah.
They just seem like
how he used to play the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's surprising. He's got them playing very, very tidy, well-drilled football in every aspect. Discipline,
Indeed.
shots, defensive work, offensive work. It's very tidy. It's very, very impressive.
Good job we've got Bruno, and they haven't.
Yeah, exactly. Alan, thank you for your £10 super chat. Very kind. Evening all, best Toon show by far. How are the lads? Thank you very much, Alan. Really appreciate that. Michael with a very, very weird comment. Paul, do you know that Joey Barton told me to F off when he played for Newcastle back in 2008 when we played Sunderland away? I'm terribly sad to hear that, Michael, and I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight.
How rude, though. How rude.
I mean, terrible of Joey Barton. That, I mean, at least he didn't grab your mobile phone and slash it on the floor. You know, I mean, you know, there is that. You know, some players have done that this season. Good evening, Darren. Hope you're well. Gemma's in the house. Good evening to you. We've got Lewis, Toon Black and White Army. Pedro says the Trolls will never win against the Toon Review family. We all love this channel and the hosts and backroom staff. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Pedro. Really kind, buddy. Cannot stop watching that running and header. One thing I did notice, Mike, when I watched that today, Danielle, was somebody put a clip on social media of when Willett got the ball and skipped round the Leicester player. Bruno was nowhere near even in the picture.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. A lot of ground.
And they showed it after the game on Sky. They slowed it right down and kind of highlighted where Bruno was when Joe Willock had the ball. And then he just, honestly, just got on his bike. He just appeared like magic. Like, unbelievable. What
Incredible.
a player.
Incredible.
What a player. But then,
get up there.
what a run by Joe Willock as well. What a run.
And let's not forget the you know, Matt Targett played a big part in the goal and also Dwight Gale. You know, and that's the runs that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago about Dwight Gale that Chris Wood doesn't make. You know, those dart and channel runs that pull defenders out. He knows what he's doing when it comes to that. So, you know, Shane, good morning in Australia. It's 5 a.m. here, so it's an early start. Crystal Palace are having a good season themselves, but man for man, they're really no better than us. I'm confident of a win. Shane, so am I, buddy. Dan says, I think I've had fewer breaths today than the amount of times I've watched it. Yeah, I think the views on that video are just incredible, to be honest. Callum says, can't say both hands were on the desk after watching it back a few times. Callum, that's shocking. Apocalyptic Workshop, that was no swan. It was a hovering kestrel. An eagle. An eagle is what it was. Rockless says,
let's not mention eagles.
Yeah, well, a good point, actually, yes. I don't think I have enough fingers to count how many times I've watched the header. Bruno, you beautiful Brazilian baller. Listen, if he scores tomorrow on the watch-along on Saturday, God knows what I'll come out with. But we'll see. Jackson's Palace game will be more physically demanding. Lots of strong, athletic, pacey players. Looking forward to the game. Eze is back as well for Palace, which I think makes a big difference to their team, Billy. And you know, you've got Zaha as well on the other side. They can hurt you on the wings.
They can, and they've got Elise also that does the same kind of thing. Yeah. They've also got the likes of Mateta and Edouard, who can all switch out there also. Mm-hmm. They're dangerous from wide, but at the moment we're strong defending wide, so they're going to have to play well to get past our fullbacks. That's for certain, and I'm confident of 3 points Wednesday because of that.
Nobody will get past the Swedish Cafu, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
He's not got minutes this season either. He's only played 175 minutes in a year.
Well, he did have a massive. He was out a long time, wasn't he, with a serious injury?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're sort of Vieira is very aware of that and bringing him back slowly rather than quickly, to be honest. Ab says, she with the swan turned into a falcon eagle by the end of the show. It did. Paul Ridden, all right, and thank you very much for your £10 super chat. Very kind. And he says, would you start Gale over Wood against Palace? Danielle?
Well, that's the thing. So in terms of Wood's foot, I don't know what the situation is with that. I'm assuming that we're going to have to rotate some of the squad with we're playing again on Saturday. But I don't know. Like, yes, do it. I would do it. And I just think, do you know what? I know he was only on the pitch for 4 minutes. Was it even 4 minutes? It might have been less than 4 minutes. but he was a crucial part of that, the build up to that goal. And we don't know if Wood's going to be fit enough to play. So if he is just fit enough, is he going to be able to play Wednesday and Saturday? Or are we going to see Dwight Gale?
I'd play Gale. I really would. And I really would. I think if there's any slight... Alex, why are you smirking at me?
Because I would play Chris Wood in this game, and there's a reason. But you'll see later. It's
we'll
fine.
come on to that. We'll come on to that.
Do we know that his foot's okay, though?
Well, exactly.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
he might.
Do you know when he did that? When he did his foot was when it was at that penalty shot. And the more I look at that, the more I think he actually was a penalty.
Do you know what, Billy? I was going to say, mate, I agree with you. I don't think anybody's taken quite a lot of notice of that. But I was going to say,
it back.
Yeah, Alex, I think you should watch it, mate, because Billy's right. I think that's where he did get the foot injury. And when
in
you
real
look at
time,
it in
I thought he got the ball, but I haven't seen it back, so you could be right.
Look at it in slow motion, and I tell you what, there's a shout there. I'm not saying it's definitely a penalty. I'm saying it possibly one of them that should have been looked at.
He was very adamant that it was a penalty, wasn't he, when he stood up? So
he was. But
I mean, Soyuncu didn't get the ball. The ball did hit Wood's hand, but he's on his way down after being fouled then. I don't think he actually got to the ball, Soyuncu. I think he took him. I really do. And like you say, why they didn't go to VAR when they did for Leicester episode later in the game, I can't remember what it was, but it was never going to be a penalty for that. Was kind of astounding to me, really.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, Soyuncu, enough said. It should be a penalty just for his hair. Peter, thank you for another £4.49 super chat. He says he will play Murphy and Miggy with ASM up top tomorrow. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Alex is the one disadvantage with home games is we miss out on Paul's legendary commentary and phrases. Thank you very much, Alex. It will be back on Saturday, though. And I will fit on the screen properly, etc. So all my graphics are done. So there you go. Jim says Joe Linton was taken out in the run-up to the goal, and the bloody ref was right. Listen, that referee, I thought he did very well. And I'm not sure who the referee is on Wednesday night. I haven't seen.
No, I just know that Kevin Nobody's Friends on VAR.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Kevin Friend. I mean, honestly, dear God. Jordan says, hello, everyone. Been missing the lives recently, so been watching it as a video later on. Why? Never mind. Adam says, hey, everyone. Kraft and Miggy were great yesterday, and Bruno just a mega signing, starting to pull players away from Maxi as well. Yes, I'd agree with that. Do you think Miggy will start the game, Alex?
Yeah, potentially. Obviously, he's got Tyreek Mitchell on that side as Palace's left back, who has had a breakthrough season. But it would be weird to not give Miggy the start based on momentum, his improvements. It makes a lot of sense to continue because he's not done anything wrong, and he looks like he's growing into some sort of role. Unless there is a specific tactical game plan that I've missed, and it's a reason to start Murphy, then it's got to be Almiron. It would be weird if it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people said before the game on Sunday that maybe it should be Murphy that start because he's a better crosser of the ball. Murphy did come on yesterday, and I didn't think he did particularly much. So we I'd stick with Miggy. I mean, I don't think Eddie's going to change much, to be honest. I can't see him changing a lot. It depends on injuries. Chris Wood's foot. Will that keep him out the game? Possibly. I don't think there was anybody else to really worry about. Although Kraft did have an injury.
Yeah, he did.
Is Dan Burns suffering maybe a head injury?
It was in the interview, wasn't it? Howe said that Kraft hadn't trained for 2 days because he was a bit ill. And then he went straight into the match and put in that performance. So he was a bit tired at the end of the game. And he did mention that he struggled a little bit at the end when Iheanacho came on fresh and Barnes came on fresh, and he still handled it well. So this is what I mean. When we talk about tactics, the managers are really focusing on this in context.
Yovim says Palace strong but very, very slow. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think they've got some very, very quick players in that side.
Lots of dribbly boys.
Yeah. Neil Purvis, thank you very much for your £5 super chat, mate. Very, very kind. Thank you so much. There isn't any comment, but thank you for your donation, mate. God, my subscribers are amazing people, aren't they? They are just incredible.
Very generous.
Indeed. Dark by Design says, Bruno better than Cabaye? I say yes, although we haven't seen him on free kicks yet. listen, I think it's what we need to do is just slow down comparing them to all the other players that we've had, etc. Let Bruno just be Bruno.
He's got more in his locker. He's got more in his locker than Kabay.
He has, yeah, because Kabay was more of a forward player that sort of midfield to front line. He didn't really, Bruno essentially is classed as a defensive midfielder, but he's just one of those. I mean, you look at his heat. Did anybody see his heat map?
I didn't see it.
Just a goat.
Yeah.
His heat map was incredible. I wish I'd uploaded it tonight to show everybody.
Tiobai. That's what he is.
Tiobai. Yes, he is indeed. That should be his name. Bruno Tiobai. Combining the two, because I mean he was just all over the pitch. Ryan, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Hope to see you on the forum tomorrow. Hard game coming up, indeed. Barbara, good evening to you. Hi, Paul, Danielle, Billy, Alex. Sorry about that nonsense on Facebook. Love the show. Always, I think Bruno has to start every game. Now, thanks, Barbara. Yeah, we all do. Bruno's. Listen, he's going to build a team around Bruno. I mean, he's already said that. He's the spine of the team. Wolves F1. What absolute sad news. Ronaldo newborn baby. Yeah, it certainly is terrible news. Christopher says, I suggest that Bruno is similar to Wijnaldum, but not as attack-minded. What do you think, Billy?
In terms of style, no. He's got way more than Jorginho Wijnaldum's got.
Yeah,
I can't think of a midfielder that we've ever had that has got as many qualities needed to be a top quality midfielder. He's got them all. I just can't think of one. Even Robert Lee.
Yeah, I think with Wijnaldum though, Wijnaldum, let's not forget, tended to disappear in away games. We had that thing that he was a home player. Now, I love the Wijnaldum. Don't get me wrong. I still do. I think he's a wonderful player, but he tended to go missing in away games. Bruno hasn't done that. He's been very much, standout player for us, even away from home. So I don't think that Bruno is going to be in the same ilk as Wijnaldum. I think he's better. And I think, one thing about Bruno, guys, is that we can all, expect him to get even better because he's only just new into English football here. And he's already playing like that.
Isn't it funny how things work out, though? Because wasn't there a lot of chat in January about Wijnaldum coming back?
Yes.
And then we ended up getting Bruno. So just shows you how things always work out in the end.
I think Wijnaldum, the similarities are closer if you compare Liverpool's Wijnaldum. If you compare Champions League, a bit more tackly and better in transition, whereas the one we had, not really, no. We had a different version of him.
Yeah,
he's a more an offensive player, wasn't he, for us, than kind of like he was Liverpool, like you say. Kind of sat, didn't he, for them? And he was a brilliant player for Liverpool. I don't think we used him correctly. McLaren didn't use him correctly. But that's McLaren all over, isn't it?
I don't think he used anything correctly. Even his telephone and his little thing, he didn't use that correctly.
Yeah, even his umbrella.
Certainly nice hair clippers.
Yeah, definitely. And good evening. Hi, Paul, Alex, Danielle, and Billy, and all that helps in the show. Buzzing still off yesterday. Next, lol, I'll take a 1-0 win. How are the lads? Indeed, and great. Keith, thank you for your $17.99 super chat, I should say. Very kind again. Here is to another 3 points on Wednesday. Indeed, Keith. Let's keep fingers crossed. Shearer69 says going to be a hard game, harder than Leicester, but think we can win. Jason says, saw you on Tideside Live, Paul. Bloody massive view, like. Well, cheers. I'm just a daunting kind of figure, Jason. But I'm a big cuddly bear, really. I'm not Danielle.
I was going to say you're definitely not daunting.
Definitely not. Alex says, good luck to Derby next season. Yeah, they've been relegated, of course, today, confirmed. Julie's in the house. Happy birthday, Thomas, my friend. So glad to call you a friend. Gary Douglas is here. Good evening, Gary. Brian McLean says, hi guys, thanks for the video, you make my night so much better. You're welcome, thanks, Brian. Thank you for that. Ellis is in the house. Calvin Phillips is a done deal, apparently, says Christopher. Listen, these done deal things, I'll believe it when I see it. When they're holding the shirt, standing next to giving Amanda a big cheesy kiss, welcome to Newcastle United, I'll believe it then. You know what I mean. Foster, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. He says, Eddie Howe has come in and made us eat our words about all these players we've gave a hard time. He has, and I'm really happy about it. I mean, Alex, when we look at, Wednesday night's game, it is a very, very different Newcastle United, even the one that was, we went to Palace with earlier. We're a different side these days, aren't we?
Yeah, well, it's a couple of factors that people have mentioned. He's reminded the existing players of the quality they've got, the achievements they've had in their career prior to us. Like Shelvey and these sorts of players have done well at other clubs, and they have quality. He's reminded them of that. And then the coaching in terms of the fitness, the training sessions, they understand what is demanded of them in terms of their jobs. They're more focused. There's more attention to detail. Even in terms of like slipping up late on in games, the concentration, the focus, the communication, and the leadership. It's literally everything.
Indeed.
Compared to 6 months ago, and that just shows that people saying that Eddie Howe's not the man for the future. Well, you can see he's paying attention to every single tiny detail, every facet of success. He's making sure he's looking at, because he knows that's the way to be successful. He knows he's not going to be able to be a top caliber manager if he doesn't look at everything, and he is looking at everything. So
without a doubt.
He might not get there, but he's giving himself the best chance.
Peter Furbank sent in another £4.49 super chat, and a question for you, Alex. What would J7 have to do to get in the Brazil squad?
Well, they do play a 4-3-3 with one sitter, like we do with Shelvey, but their sitter is normally Fabinho or Casemiro. And then the people in front of them is typically Fred on the right. And then who has had a much better season, may I add?
I would still take Julian any day of the week over Fred, though. I mean, I really would.
Well, yeah, but then you've got Paqueta or Coutinho or any of those other midfielders in the middle, and Bruno comes on as a sub. So Joelinton would have to knock off that left-sided midfielder.
Yeah.
Is he at the moment that tends to be Coutinho, so it's not impossible if he keeps the numbers up or improves them. The thing is, I don't think Brazil are going to want him because they don't need Casemiro and Joelinton or Fabinho and Joelinton. They don't need that much defensive caliber. They're happy to have one sitter and then just let Brazilian
just take
talent.
Joelinton. The answer is easy.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
By the way,
Joelinton playing in a Shelvey role. I mean,
yeah, but the Paqueta bandwagon of coming to Newcastle seems to be picking up a bit of pace.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex,
He's
I think
been liking things, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think even you would be windmilling if he signed for Newcastle. I mean, let's be honest.
You would.
I don't know about that, but I'd be very, very happy. Yeah.
Ryan says, don't really like Man United at all, but I love Ronaldo as a player. Want him to stay to see him at St. James's Park next season. Yeah, listen, Ronaldo for me is the greatest of all time. I've said it many, many times. I think what sets him apart from Messi is Ronaldo has done it in other countries, other leagues, at international level over and over again. He's continued whichever country he's played in, he's scored goals. Now you look at Messi in the French league this season, he's not exactly tearing it up, is he? Especially and with who he's got playing with him. So listen, there'll always be a debate about Messi, Ronaldo. This is just my personal opinion, and I think he is, considering he's still doing it now at his age.
Well, he's got 2 hat-tricks in the last couple of months, hasn't he?
The guy's incredible, and people may not like his attitude and stuff like that, and I think he's got a rotten attitude sometimes, but footballing-wise, just an incredible player. Really is. Andy says, watch John's reaction to the winning goal yesterday. Absolute pure gold.
Absolutely.
If you could bottle happiness. I haven't watched it yet.
You've got to, Paul. You've got to. Cute.
So glad I could get tickets for the Leicester game. Indeed. Kraft is the Swedish Cafu. Well, he's starting to get that name again, isn't he? It's mental, really. But hey, listen, you've got to be. That's credit to Emil Kraft, to be honest.
I posted
really
an appreciation stat tweet on Twitter to Kraft, and it just exploded. Everybody just loves Kraft from that performance. It's gone bonkers.
I just love it. I just love his work rate. I really do. I just love the way he gets stuck in now, and he's not. If he gets caught out of position, he makes it back, and it's incredible. Wendy says, fantastic result yesterday. Hoping to go again on Wednesday. We're off now. Indeed, we are. We are off now. I heard, was it Andy Townsend talking today about us Newcastle fans and how much we would be looking for looking forward to the summer now. And he was asked, saying, no, do you think they'll really go for it? And he was, well, why wouldn't they not go for it when they've got the funds there? They want to be successful, and good luck to them. The fans deserve it. And, for once, a pundit saying we fans deserve it. And, we do. Damn well do.
Yeah, we do.
Joe says, Andy says, Billy, that's the same yellow the Mackems played in today. If you can call it played. Because, of course,
I wouldn't call it played.
0-0.
When I was doubting earlier, it was because of that.
Right. I wondered where you'd gone. I mean, people were getting worried, Billy. People were getting worried.
I know they were.
No answer, but of course he couldn't hear his phone for the sheer noise of a tractor's exhaust coming out of his throat.
I'm also wearing it in tribute to our fantastic owner, what she was wearing yesterday.
Yes. She did look radiant, didn't she? In her yellow dress. She stood out a mile, by the way. You couldn't miss her in the stand. You were just looking at black and white. Then all of a sudden, this bright yellow, and you couldn't miss her. John says, "Good afternoon from Las Vegas. Can't wait for Wednesday's game and enjoying the revival. Eddie for Prime Minister." Wow.
Couldn't do much worse, let's be honest.
Well, yes. Paqueta has been tweeting about Bruno's performance yesterday. He has. I laughed at Matty Target's one as well, by the way. He tweeted Bruno. It was class. Brilliant. Michael says, "Good evening, lady and gents. I see you're going with the I've been tangoed look, Paul." Absolutely not, Michael. I have tanned now. If you want a tango look, go and look at Friday Night Show. That is what you call tangoed. When I couldn't do anything with me camera settings or anything to get, a decent look about me. I was glowing like a pregnant balloon. Put it that way.
I didn't notice.
No, you didn't, Danielle. You really didn't. You're a liar as well. Matthew says, "What's happening with the Four Horsemen? Is it coming back to this channel?" The Four Horsemen, no. I stepped away from the Four Horsemen. Listen, it ran its course. Okay, we've got a lot more shows coming up on this channel. Now, that's not to say that there won't be a special one-off Horseman somewhere down the line this year. A summer special or a Christmas special or something like that, where we just, put the Four Horsemen back for one episode and have a laugh with it. But listen, it ran its course, Matthew. It was great while it was on. I stepped away. Obviously, Barry's doing his own thing now and doesn't want to do the Horseman, which is fair enough. It's ran its course, and that's the way it is. So it may come back for one-off specials, but listen, there's some cracking shows coming up on this channel, and long. We are planning new shows all the time on here, so it can only get better and better as far as I'm concerned. So unfortunately not, but like I say, you have to go with the times, and the Four Horsemen ran its course to the stage where it was just getting a bit repetitive. So like I say, it may be back for one-off specials every now and again, though. Jason says, "Lampard and Gerrard below Eddie quality." Now, this is interesting, Danielle, because when, Gerrard took over at Villa, everybody was, blowing smoke up his ass. I don't think he's had anywhere near the impact that Eddie Howe's had on Newcastle.
No, I don't think so. But don't get us wrong, I think he's doing all right at Villa. Of course he has, but Eddie Howe has just turned everything completely on its head. And to be honest, I think we swerved bullets with Gerrard and with Frank Lampard. We've got the best one of the bunch, and we've got our chairman to thank for that, as well as, a fantastic interview by all accounts that Eddie put, all the planning he put in. Everything just worked out for once. I mean, I suppose we've got to get used to that being the way it is at Newcastle United now. That things are going to start turning because, every dog has their day, and, this is it for us now. But yeah, I think, Gerrard did okay at Villa. It was a bit, people talking about Coutinho coming in the summer. I'm not too sure now. He turned me down once. He's on the list. I don't know if we'd look at him again after that.
What is what your hit list or
the list I'm talking about?
Oh, the list.
The list in January of let's
Yes.
make a note of everybody that decided that what we were in for them, and then when
I think it's more down to Barca though, because Barca, if we offer more than Villa, then Barca just want the money. So there's a few other factors in it as well, I guess.
Do you think he'd be looking elsewhere in the summer though? Because can Villa
Well, who
pay
knows? I guess
Coutinho?
time will tell on that one. But anyway, Keith Delts, thank you very much for your $20 super chat. He's gone on to say this should be a wild summer. Off subject, but have you guys heard of American Timothy Weah, young productive striker that shouldn't break the bank? We could use multiple new options up top as well as youth. Now, Billy and Alex are nodding their head. Billy, have you heard of him?
I've certainly. He was at Celtic for a while, wasn't he?
Is he at Lille now? Is he?
Yeah, he's in France, but I think he played. Was he at Celtic for a year on loan or something?
I think he was.
And of course, his famous dad George, he was a fantastic player in his day.
He's in
George
France
Weah,
right
yeah.
now as an impact substitute. I can't remember where he is. I think he's at
I'm sure he's in France. Yeah.
I think Alex pressed the button there. Is he at Lille and pressed the wrong button? It's cut him off.
No.
But anyway, before Alex comes back on with his graphics, it just gives me time to say that if you are enjoying the show, we've got over 600 watching tonight again, which is absolutely incredible with over 600 watching. So please do hit the thumbs up button. I know it's a pain in the arse when I say it, but it really, really does help the channel if you do like the show. It tells YouTube that something good is happening on this channel and promote it a bit higher up the pages, etc. So thank you in advance for that. If you are enjoying the show, of course, and you're new, please do consider subscribing and hit that notification bell that lets you know when we upload or record a show. And also, you can become a member of the Toon Review, hit the join button, or if you're on iOS, it's a bit more complicated. Sometimes the join button isn't there. But if you visit our Instagram page, click the link on there to come to the Toon Review YouTube channel. It'll take you to the desktop and you can join that way until we get it sorted. I'm not sure what's going on with iOS and YouTube linking up. It doesn't seem to work too well. If you'd like to donate to the channel, which so many people have done very, very kindly tonight, you can hit the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and that will, of course, take you through to a payment method. You can join the Facebook group. We've got a great Facebook group going on there. Obviously, Instagram as well, and TikTok. Don't forget our TikTok page. If you're on there, go and give that a follow as well, which Susan runs brilliantly. It has to be said. There's some tremendous TikToks, which these guys are going to be starring in very, very soon as well, which should be very interesting. Susan has plans. Let's put it that way.
She's always got plans, Susan.
She always has plans. Always. Yep, always. And, of course, a big shout-out to Geordie Riffs, premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based here in the Northeast. Guitar repairs and servicing. You get 10% off each of your first ones. And, of course, you get your first guitar lesson completely free of charge if you mention the Toon Review. And they also have a recording studio there if you'd like to give yourself a bit of an experience of being a musician. So they're at geordieriffs.co.uk, at Geordie Riffs on Instagram, and Geordie Riffs Official on Facebook. Right, Alex? It's graphics time, my man. So, take it away.
Okie dokie. So, can we see everything okay?
Perfect. Yeah, Amundo.
Brilliant. So, this is our team from the other day. I would assume it's going to be the same depending on, obviously, the Almiron conversation and Chris Wood's foot, but one would imagine that it'll be pretty much the same. So this is how Crystal Palace have been lining up recently. They've toyed with the 4-3-3 as well, but they do tend to play two sitters with Gallagher as their very aggressive 10, which is people mention that we have very similar sort of standard to Palace. I don't think we yet have anybody sort of like Gallagher as a 10. We don't have this energetic 10 yet. That's what we need to go out and get in the summer. Depends what style Howe wants to play. So where are they going to be a nuisance? How can we hurt them? Well, the two centre-back partnerships, Anderson and Guehi. Guehi came in from Chelsea. I can't remember where they got Anderson from. Was somewhere in France. And they both do a very, very good job. They've been cracking together. They both got man of the match performances at different games recently. They support each other. There was one situation in the 3-0 against Arsenal. Anderson playing some long balls. I think he got 2 assists. So their centre backs are not half bad. One of the reasons why I think we should be starting Wood for this one is this man here, Guehi from who was at Chelsea. If we look at his FB ref, he's only 5'11", and he's quite poor in his aerial duels, in the bottom 27th percentile. So not too energetic either, so he's definitely there to be had at by somebody like Chris Wood, that's for sure.
Yeah, but do you think? I mean, Chris Wood's not exactly like roughing it up front, is he? That's the only thing.
There is that. I mean, we've got to treat him as a target man and give him the respect. We can't just we can't just say, oh, he's not been doing it, so let's play him because he can't run channels. We've got to give him the job that he's meant to do and hope that he does it. you know, he's had some tough games. Like, it was difficult for him against like West Ham, for example. Their centre backs are enormous, but this should be more feasible for him to have a better game, definitely. So they have a lot of options out wide as well. They've got Olise, who's come in, who sometimes plays on this side. He's got a lot of goals and stuff. He's been very, very tidy. Etsy's just come back as well. So they have options. Zaha, we all know who Zaha is. He's been very, very solid. 11 goals this year. Wins lots of penalties. He's a nuisance down this side. So we're really going to need Kraft to put in another good performance and Almiron to cover ground and Bruno to do Bruno things. Because Zaha is a pain. He's a pain in the butt. He really is. He has been very good this year. He's just sort of gone under the radar. I think it's because he's aged out slightly from a big move. People aren't talking about him, but he still is a big, big threat. Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's come in, again, hasn't ripped the league sort of up, but he's been pretty decent, very, very tidy, especially with the driving runs. They are all very dribbly boys here. Very, very dribbly. Mitchell's very, very high in pressures. They've all got sort of Eddie Howe's profile, these players have. They've all high pressures, high intensity, good at carrying the ball, good at dribbling. Ayew is the same. Gallagher, Zaha, Mitchell does it. We all know Nathaniel Klein. This is the Arsenal lineup, by the way. This is the team that played Arsenal and won 3-0. So it will be some variation of this. Although I'm not sure if Klein's out or not. I'd have to check. So as for their keeper, again, seems to be very highly rated. I've not watched much of Palace. I think I've watched 2 of their games this season, and I've watched a few highlights. We've just got to be careful with the runners. So we need to bring the intensity we brought against Leicester, because there's just so much energy here, and they have options off the bench, like I said, that also have energy. So I am a bit concerned, sort of 60, 70 minutes in, where we might see a Sean Longstaff substitution. Again, what do we do with Willock? He created the goal. So Willock is a big question mark here as to whether he plays or doesn't play. A lot of people are saying he has to play because of the goal. But the problem is he doesn't tend to do those kinds of things when he starts games. He's very good at doing that as a sub. So it depends what Howe thinks about that, and who does he drop to bring Willock in? That's the issue with this lineup.
Listen, knowing Eddie Howe like we do, I can't see him dropping anybody unless they're injured from that winning side on Sunday. I genuinely don't see that happening, because I think he's very, very appreciative of the players and the effort that they put in. I know he's a bit more sort of tactically aware, and you know, if he needs to sort of change it up a little bit, he probably will. But given who we're playing and given that we're at home, I think he goes with the same formation, same team, if Wood isn't injured, or Kraft isn't injured.
It matches it up quite well. The intent, I think Almiron, his intensity was underrated for that game. His winning of the ball in their third press was excellent in the opening minutes. He pressed very well, and we're going to need him to do that up here, because if he can do that high press, it's going to stop. You know, they're going to be trying to get the ball out to Zaha. So if Almiron's doing Terrier things, being a little Jack Russell, then they're going to struggle. So we need the energy from Bruno Almiron. We need Wood to do his pressures, to do his bit, to stop them from, you know, the last thing we want is sort of Gallagher and Zaha linking up here, doing little dribbly things and winning penalties, because that's going to get very scary very quickly.
Yeah.
And you know, Cher does give away penalties sometimes. He's not the quickest, nor Burn. So we don't want to be leaving these two centre backs to be dealing with all the dribbly things, because they need to be protected. Mateta isn't tiny either. Where's Mateta? So Mateta is nearly 6'4" as a French striker. He's got a few goals, 800 minutes this season. So you know, Burn's got to make sure he's on his game there. And we've got Zaha here with his 11 goals this season, still doing bits with his pressures and dribbles. Yep. So we do have to pay them. We do have to respect them, because they're dangerous.
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah, without a doubt. Danielle, you know that salt you had last night that you were sprinkling on? Well, Santino's put in a comment which I really think you should have a look at. It says, hope you lose the most arrogant, entitled fan base in the game.
I mean, we just said we've got to respect Palace.
Sorry, I was on mute there for a minute. Honestly, fuming with that. Are you joking? Entitled? Us? What on earth are you talking about? I think you want the red side of Manchester. They're entitled. They're protesting against their owners. Oh, they only bought Ronaldo, all of the rest of it. Look at they're nothing since Ferguson left. I know that I'm making it all about them now, but that's an entitled fan base. We are not entitled.
No major trophies in 53 years. That's hardly entitled now, is it?
Exactly. I mean, Christ, 14 years of Mike Ashley. How are we entitled? Take your face for his shite, mister. Honestly, what a pathetic, idiotic thing to say.
Appreciate the view, though. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, good point. Andy says, Paul, your watch-alongs are amazing. Actually, commentary. Haven't found that on many other channels. They just let us watch them watching the game in silence most of the time. Well, thank you very much for that.
I've missed a few goals watching Paul's commentary, mind.
Well, you know. Novik says, can you believe that I sat for an hour this morning of that 16 seconds of magic? I know. I think everybody did, to be honest. Ken says another one for Alex to check. I'm sure Palace is one of those teams in the Premier League where they don't have a great record against us over the years. I don't think they're great. Specifically. I don't think they're great at St James's. I really think they've got a poor record against us at St James's.
Head to head is 10 for us, 4 for them. 6 draws. So
I seem to remember Tilo Lombardo scoring a winner against us many years ago.
God, and Bennett Billy Lombardo, the bald Italian, wasn't he? Jesus Christ, that is a blast from the past.
We have considerably better odds for winning this from the bookies as well. So, but that's probably just based on form.
Indeed. Billy Trail, ladies and gentlemen, the encyclopedia of the Toon Review. Sean says, the best channel on YouTube and my favorite for YouTubers, the only other show I watch is John. You got to love him. Indeed you have. Indeed you have. Matthew says, thanks for stopping by, Santino. Indeed. Thanks for stopping by, yes. Come on, people, like and subscribe. A lot watching tonight. Indeed, there is. Do hit that like button for us, guys, and subscribe if you're new. Barbara says, hi, all. Great show as usual. Thank you, Barbara. Julie says, Santino, thanks for the constructive comment.
I love how Julie words it.
Yes, definitely. Very constructive. Thank you, Santino. Now take your face for a crap. Caitlin and Nick said, Joey Barton had probably told more than 10,000 people to fuck off and done much worse to people. Luckily, he didn't put a cigarette out on you. He was a nutcase. Yeah, he did have his moments. Yeah. He did have his moments, but I think he's settled down in later life. He's certainly doing a good job at Bristol Rovers. And by the way, another goal for Elliot Anderson. Just incredible. Incredible.
It was an amazing goal as well.
It was. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Good lad.
Exactly. Sean says, Paul, seen you on Tyneside Live's podcast. Are you really 6'5"? Yes. I don't know why people don't. Everybody that I meet for the first time has a very sort of, they come up to me and look at me like I'm some sort of giant Godzilla. Because when I sit in my seat in front of this camera, I don't look 6'5". You know, Alex doesn't look 7'3". Danielle doesn't look 16'4". You know, it's the camera adds or takes a lot away in our cases. You know, but it's just the way it is. I was stood in manure for around 4 years, and that's what happens. But there you go. Jason says, Bruno busted good to get in the box. Didn't stop sprinting until he went salmon-like. Exquisite goal, says Jason.
Yes, it was, Jason. That's a brilliant word to describe it. Exquisite.
Yeah, indeed. Banda says, hey, Paul, I saw you in Eddie's vlog on Tyneside Live. Can you have him here? Yep, we are getting something arranged for that. He will be coming on.
He's canny, Eddie, isn't he?
He is. Really canny bloke, yeah. And he's doing something good on Thursday, which... you know, I'm involved in, hopefully, providing I get the time to do it. It's at James's on Thursday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Rocco says,
get my checkbook as well.
Well, I've emailed Mandy, and you know, she got back to me earlier on and said that the checkbook is here with a nice gold pen for you, Danielle.
Oh, I love a gold pen.
Okay, it's a blankety blank checkbook and pen, which she says you will adore. Thoughts on this, says Rocco. Could we put ASM up front and Willock right midfield? No. Oh my God. I can't believe she just sent me that text message. She knows, right? Susan knows the text messages come up on my screen when I'm live, and it's shocking. It comes up on the MacBook. I mean, do you really want to know what she said, guys?
Well,
do you really want to know?
Well, now you've drawn us in.
6'5" in more than one way.
Susan.
Good Lord.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That got me. She doesn't normally get me with them text messages. I've gone red, and I don't normally get embarrassed very easily.
You read it anyway on Friday?
Wow!
Yes, we've been sending you messages Friday then.
Dear God!
He hasn't been out in the sun at all.
No, I've been indoors all day today. I've been hiding. Is it hot in here? Anyway, Northeast Gaz says Eddie Howe has brought the best of our Joe Linton. Sorry, I just laughed at Danielle's reaction there. Susan!
Do you know what, Paul? Earlier I was watching our
sister.
Takeover night show.
Yeah.
And you were saying, could this takeover turn Joe Linton into Pele? And I thought, yeah.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. Well, there you go. See.
Thanks for boosting his ego, Billy. Cheers for that.
I don't have an ego, sis. You know that. Shocking thing to say. Anyway, Palace may well be a drilled team, but we've got Bruno, Joe Linton, ASM, Kraft, Shelby, Byrne, Target, Willock, Miggy, Sharon, Dubravka, to name just a few.
I'll start 11.
Yeah, exactly. Evan says Sunderland fans were singing Newcastle get battered everywhere they go. The words
embarrassment to the whole town. I don't call it a city because it's not. Like, not to me, it's not. They were an absolute shambles.
What a ridiculous thing to
Honestly.
say.
Who did they play? They played Plymouth Argyle just now, didn't they? There was the lass in the stand who had an NUFC flag with SMB on it. She was very brave.
Wow.
Oh God, they're obsessed, aren't they?
What a pathetic thing to sing. You know what I mean?
Jealousy.
When we've secured Premier League survival, the richest club in the world, and they're struggling to make the playoffs in League One, is it? Which is the third
They'll
tier?
bottle it again.
Oh,
if,
of course
if they get it, they'll
If
bottle
they
it.
don't go up this year, the shit's going to hit the fan financially for them.
Well, it will, without a doubt. Another season in League One. But what a pathetic thing to sing.
Pathetic.
Honestly. Jesus Christ. YT says, I spoke to a coach at the training ground today. He said if they had lost last night, they would have to train today, but we wouldn't. So Eddie give the lads a day off because we're now safe. But Eddie won't say that. Eddie won't say we're safe.
You'll never say that.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to if we beat Palace because nobody's mathematically gone down on 40 points, have they? Ever?
Yeah. Undoubtedly.
I think West Ham might have.
What, on 40?
I think so. 2002.
Was it not like 39 or something?
Might have been 39. There was a lot of points. I think it was the most anyway.
Guys, Michael's just sent another $44.99 super chat in. I don't have no words no more. You guys out there are incredible. Michael, you're just the most incredible gentleman I have ever met. Thank you so much. Thank you for just being basically we should say that the Toon Review sponsored by Geordie Riffs and Michael Marsden. I think that's how it should be from now on. But thank you very much, Michael. He doesn't like being in the spotlight, but there you go. Cesare says South African Airways has been liquidated, but on the upside, we're contracted to Bruno Air. Good one, Ches. Good
West Ham
one.
went down with 42 points.
Sorry?
West Ham went down with 42 points in 2002, 2003. Sunderland went down with 40, and so did Bolton. 96, 97, 97, 98.
Yeah, indeed. Foster, thank you very much for another £4.49, mate. He says Billy won't raise Paul's ego, but Susan will with texts like that.
Oh, come on.
Oh, brilliant, Foster. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Stanley says, looking forward to Bruno, mate, joining in the summer. Paqueta, or, how would you say it, Alex?
Paqueta.
I
wouldn't worry. I think we'll get one of them anyway. We're going to get one of those flary people that go in front. We might not get the one we want, but we'll definitely get one of them.
Yeah, indeed. Keith says we should beat Palace 2-0. Barry says I would liken Bruno's goal more like a South American condor, a colossus.
Very good, Barry. Very good.
B. Vargas says how good was Kraft's sliding tackle in the box to stop a clear shot? Yeah, we spoke about that last night. It was very impressive. The last time I saw a footballer fly like Bruno, it was Van Persie at the World Cup against Spain. Yeah. I remember that one. Do you remember that sort of?
It was incredible. The looping.
It was a brilliant header. I mean, Bruno's was better, but just
I was thinking Keith Halsey.
Was that the Tim Krul penalty magic. Was that the same one? Was that the same tournament where they subbed Krul on for the penalty shootout? I think that was the Van Gaal year, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Yeah. Bring Almer on because he's fast and Palace is very slow. Interesting.
How are they very slow?
I don't know.
Is quick. Mitchell is quick. Gallagher's quick. Zaha's quick. Who are the slow players they have a slow double pivot, but that's 2 players. Like, they are not slow. I don't know where.
Sorry,
people
double
are
pivot.
This
are we talking dancing on ice here? Or are we?
They're midfield.
We're getting the old tutus out, Alex.
I don't. Is there some sort of tactical video or some media channel that said this? Because everybody's latched onto this idea.
Slow either, isn't he? Let's be honest.
They're not slow. Like,
No,
Mateta's
They
big.
play Milivojevic maybe, and MacArthur.
Yeah,
maybe
Milivojevic and MacArthur, but they're very rarely in the start
People need
lineup.
to remember that they don't have Gary Cahill and MacArthur playing every game anymore. This is not what Crystal Palace is. Crystal Palace are a very different team. They had a big rebuild. They are not a slow side. I don't know where this misconception's come from.
Well, Abs agrees with you, Billy. For me, it was 100% a penalty. Obviously, talking about that tackle with Wood. Soyuncu made contact with Wood before the ball went through his legs. Yes, I saw Tyneside Life, and my God, Paul is tall. We're not getting into that. I have no clue how tall Paul is, says Thomas. He has never mentioned it. No, I don't. I tend to keep that very, very quiet. Keith says, always look forward to your commentary, Paul. Thanks, mate. Cesare says, Thomas, it's never come up. Absolutely not. Alan says, fingers crossed, Alex is predicting another loss because it means 3 points in the bag. Apparently, West Brom are 1-0 down and down to 10 men.
Oh no.
Oh no. Neil says he did book the Leicester player who pulled Joel into the floor after allowing Willock to play on. He did book him, but we should have had a penalty. Caitlin and Nick, meeting Paul in person is certainly a fun experience. Never thought I'd meet someone the size of Hagrid from Harry Potter. Sorry, didn't Caitlin message me earlier on in the day asking me to try and get tickets for the Arsenal game? Now, Caitlin, if that wasn't you that sent that, I suggest you punch Nick in the face, give him a good beating, photograph me proof, and then I'll get you tickets.
Oh, God.
Jason says, great to see Dubravka run the length of the pitch to celebrate the goal. The squad is united. Listen, the goal was incredible because the whole side the players that weren't involved, the whole bench just ran on the pitch. It was like there was pandemonium. I mean, limbs everywhere. And also everyone giving the Leicester fans the bird. For really say, where's your famous atmosphere? It's like, there you go, you twats.
Paul, I do want to mention Maxi as well, because everybody's been very critical of his attitude recently. He was on the sidelines. He celebrated straight away with win with a genuine smile. And he was the first player to pick Bruno up off the floor and give him a hug and a congratulations. So people talking about his attitude, it seems fine. It seems like his heart's in the right place. I don't know where this is coming from.
Yeah, and I backtracked on my previous thoughts yesterday. So I'm with you.
Yeah, that went national, Danielle. That went into the papers.
Oh, right. Don't rub it in.
It was on the front page of the Times this morning. That you
whatever.
Danielle backtracks on the SM. Scandalous news.
You know why? Because I'm a big person when I admit when I'm wrong.
You are.
And I was
6'5"?
Not quite.
It's a bit smaller than that, isn't that right, Paul?
Yeah, about 3'2". Neil, thanks for the £5 super chat, matey. And he says, Paul, you need to extend Danielle and Alex's contracts, pal. Alex is great with his stats, and a great signing with Billy as well, matey. Thank you very much. Well, you know what it is? We're just a big family and we love it being on here. So, they're not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. We have big plans for everybody with this channel. And, it's nice to get. It's not just me that puts the shows together. Alex is doing a lot of hard work, thinking of shows to do and putting forward stuff. Danielle just shouts at me and keeps me right.
And I haven't had my tea tonight, so that's dedication.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's why she had the rant about Manchester United, and Billy's just a gentleman, quite honestly. I mean, he comes out with his, his little schneid remarks every now and again, as Billy does, but that's why you have to love him.
Yeah.
We are a big team on here, and not just the four of us, but Cesare, Julie, Susan, and Thomas, the mods for the show backstage. They work, they do fantastic job behind the scenes as well, keeping the chat right and doing the great stuff back there. So it's all a big family, and we love doing what we do. So and you guys watching as well, you make the shows by all your comments and subscribing and things like that. So it's all one big team effort, including you guys out there, which is great. Isaac says, just got my hamster an IKEA Detolf as a cage. It's massive. He is called Abraham, but might rename him Bruno. Well,
Abraham.
Isaac,
that's a brand new sentence. That is
Abraham the hamster.
That's so cute.
Well, indeed. Wow. I mean, that's one comment I didn't expect to be reading out tonight, to be honest. What's an IKEA Detolf?
I mean, IKEA's Swedish. You've got to call him Kraft.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. There you go. Kraft the hamster. Emil's more, you can't call him Kraft the hamster. I mean, Emil, fair enough, but Kraft? My goodness me. West Brom playing 5 at the back, Carroll up front. Colback scored against them. And Forrester 3-0 up. Colback scored against Steve Bruce. That is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely.
Accumulation of points, Steve.
Magnificent.
And they're a man down as well. So it could get worse.
Evening, Stephanie. Hope you're well. Hope you've managed to read your Bobby Robson thing and that you enjoyed it. Palace are definitely not slow, says Matthew. I don't quite understand that, but there you go. What have we got to lose by playing Gale? Wood has played every minute since he signed. He's maybe injured and tired. Actually, VAR's Craig Pawson.
Hang on.
That doesn't mean that Kevin's friend's referee, does it, Danielle?
Nobody's friend. It can't be.
Oh, no.
I'm checking it.
No.
Don't worry. I'm on it right now.
Like a car bonnet.
The rest from Hartlepool, apparently.
Who, sorry?
Harrington from Hartlepool. I've never heard of him, but apparently he's the referee on Saturday.
Yeah, I've never heard him.
So we're getting a Hartlepool referee.
Hang on.
That's interesting.
Just as you were, and I'll let you know.
All right. Mick, good evening. Bruno G's pace was electric. Last time I saw a Brazilian move like that, or that fast, Lass had the lady shaver out. Oh, dear.
So, NUFC.com, other websites are available, says that the referee is Tony Harrington and VAR is Kevin Friend.
All right, there you go. So, Kath, you've had a nightmare, sweetheart. Unfortunately, it is Kevin Friend.
I wish it wasn't. It's nobody's friend.
Says, yeah, exactly. Did anyone have see the short clip where Bruno went after a ball going out, stopped the ball on the line, then nutmegged the player and was away, leaving him for dead? Pure magic. Yeah, Miggy did that as well.
Yeah, and Miggy did that together.
ASM did it. Yeah, there was a few Megs going on in that game. Bruno already lives and breathes the city and the club. He loves it. I couldn't believe Bruno's heat map. Neither could I. It was absolutely incredible.
I mean, he got the 11.6 kilometers covered, didn't he? He got the most ground covered in the whole match. So the heat map was bound to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, indeed. Chi says, what do you think of staying with Joe Linton, Shelby and Bruno in midfield? ASM and Almiron on the wings with Willock in a false 9.
I'll try it. I've been saying it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I thought he did on Sunday, and I think, Danielle, you said the same, didn't you?
If we get 3 more points, I think we might see some of these. I think we might see more Longstaff and more. I think we'll see Gale get minutes as well. If we get 1 more win, I think he might give some players a chance.
We'll see different formations, maybe.
That Luca de Bol, the youngster, scored tonight for the under-23s, so maybe he'll come back onto the bench. And if we can get 1 more win, he can start trying things.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Rory says was able to get a ticket for the first time in months for the Crystal Palace game, coming all the way from Aberdeen. Aberdeen! Hotel booked, trains booked, missing school to watch Eddie Howe's mighty Toon. Well, have a fantastic day out, Rory. Come and say hello.
There was a guy on Twitter from Malaysia saw the game.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a flight that far and seeing Bruno's winner. What a day.
Amazing.
Incredible. Matthew says, as long as we put in a good performance on Wednesday, I'll be happy. Yeah, I mean, look, we have to. I think the guys will be going out to do everything they possibly can to get a result from this game. It's just the way it is. Foster, thank you for another £1.79. Can we get Rafinha and Paqueta in the Toon? Interesting. The Brazilians, why not? Bring them on. Bring them on. Your take on some fans not wanting share back? Well, I don't know who that is, but
I don't understand that.
I think it's an interesting thought because I think more want him to stay than want him to go. I would probably imagine that, but
Yeah.
I can't understand that. Alex got immediately teleported to Lille to check the stats. That was amazing.
It was
funny, mate, because as soon as you said Lille, you just went.
Timothy Weah's stats were so underwhelming, it kicked me out of StreamYard. It was his stats weren't great when I had a look. He's played like 1,200 minutes. His stats are so poor. He's 0 goals, 3 assists. He doesn't look like he's doing as well as I thought he was. I thought he was some sort of gem. It doesn't seem to look like it in the stats.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Actually, are you all right there, Billy?
Yeah, I'm fine now. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to stop snorting that powder, mate. Anyway, so it is now time for predictions. Now, I know normally the fan forum do their predictions before us, but it's the other way around this week because the fan forum's tomorrow. So that's just the way it is. Alex, you can start us off with your predictions, my man.
I really don't know about this one. This is a tough one. It's very similar to the Leicester game in that I think it could go. I think it's going to be 2-1 again, and I'm going to say to us, but I think it's going to be one of those where we're both at a similar level right now, similar quality, similar team. I think we'll edge it 2-1. I think with the unity and the game, I think we'll edge it at home as well with the crowd, with Bruno. I can see us winning it.
Wow. I mean, I was going to say if you'd have said 2-1 Palace there, I think everybody would have shot you, mate. To be honest.
Well, I don't think Palace have got quite as much. The reason I predicted that for Leicester is because you've got people like Maddison that can just do something insane. Palace don't have a Maddison. They've got very good players, like Zaha's very, very good, but they don't have that international quality that can just pick a lock from nothing. But they are very, very good, and they need to be respected. And I feel like if they do score, it'll be because somebody's not in position or somebody's, it's avoidable. If the lads concentrate and put the tackles in the right times, and I feel like if we play our game plan, we win this game. If they do what Hal wants, we win this 2-1.
Okay, Billy?
Well, I'm going to follow on from that and saying I think we will be disciplined. I think we won't concede a goal against Palace, and I think we'll beat them 3-0.
3-0, and who's going to score?
Well, I'm going to say ASM because I believe if they do have a weakness, it's Palace. It's down their right defensive side. I think ASM will come good tomorrow. Okay. I think he might be good for a couple, actually. And I'm going to say Amborn. Let's take them down the flanks.
Wow. Okay. Alex, who do you think's going to score?
Yeah, I think Maxi and Willock. I think Willock will get one. He looks fit and hungry again. He looks like he's got over that illness, which is great to see. And I think Maxi's going to get one because one of those shots, like you said, he was doing very well in training in the warm up and then soft shots in the game. He's got to hit one of them sweet eventually.
It was very strange because he was burying them.
He's got to hit one cleanly. Eventually, I think it will be Maxi and I think it's going to be Maxi and Willock, and I think they'll get a pen that Zaha will score. Probably.
I think the mood of the camp will dictate the game, and Palace being beaten at Wembley yesterday is not going to make them feel great, and us winning last minute will be high as kites, and I think that's going to carry us over the line as well as our crowd. Yeah,
they will want to get back at us, though, won't they? I mean, they'll want to make sure that they try and bounce back. I mean, the disappointment, they'll want to do something for the manager. Andrew said, what's going on my betting slip. 7-0 by any chance, Andrew? You've predicted that every single match this season, mate. So, Carlos going 4-2 to the Toon. Caitlin and Nick's at 3-1. Wood Almiron and Bruce. By the way, Paul, I'll get Caitlin to beat me when she gets home. You better. Just show the video. Paul says Joe Linton, ASM and Wood, so he's going 3-something. Sean says 2-1. Nice to see Alex has learned his lesson in tipping the opposition. No room here for unbelievers. Lol, only joking, Alex. Well, it's not a Thursday night, so Alex hasn't had raw meat today, so he's a lot calmer than he normally is. Bandar's going 3-1. Dylan says 10-0. Bruno to get a hat-trick. Wow. Mick says, can you say hello to Heather Maudsley from Seaton Delaval? She's in Mackham. Hello, Heather Maudsley from Seaton Delaval. It's terrible you're in Mackham. I just hope your life is better in other ways. Yeah. Scrappy 1-1 draw with Zaha disappearing for most of the match. Hopefully, Palace will have an overhang from Wembley. Maybe. Roy's going 2-1. Roy, it's not tomorrow, mate. It's Wednesday, but if you want to watch them tomorrow, I think you'll be watching a blank screen. But you're supposed to be on the fan forum tomorrow night, mate, at 8:30, so don't forget that. ASM and Bruno again. Yeah, I mean, where are you going with this, Danielle?
I'm going 3-0 to us, and I'm going Big Joe for the first, ASM with the second, and then ASM again for the third. And then he's going to rip his headband off and throw it into the Gallagher, and everyone's going to be buzzing. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Okay. You're worse than me with me bloody golden camels and stuff, to be honest. Roy goes bugger. Yes, indeed. You forgot about that, Roy, didn't you?
But if you do see the game tomorrow, tip us something what to score this, because I don't think I'll book it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, jump in your TARDIS, mate, that's fine. Roy probably owns a TARDIS. He owns everything else.
Yeah, he
King
does.
of Qatar. Dan says, I think it'll be an open match, 3-2 maybe. Zaha 2, ASM, Wood, and Byrne. I hope you're right, Dan, mate. I really do. 3-0, ASM, Bruno, and Shah. Andy says 5-0 Palace because they heard Billy say it tomorrow and turned up a day early, so it won't count.
Did I say tomorrow as well? Roy, you're on the same wavelength, mate.
I don't know. I really don't. Something's gone badly wrong there, but never mind. Question: how does one get on the fan forum? Would love to have a chat. The link is pinned in the description when the show starts, mate. So all you do is click the link at the top, and that'll take you into StreamYard that we film on and backstage in the green room, as we like to call it, and then I bring you on. So, yeah. Nick says Danielle could be right about the headband into the crowd if he scores because he's trying to be as loved as Bruno is. Oh.
I just think it'll be relief for him. I think it'll be a relief. So he's just wanting to give something back. That's all.
Imagine if he tore it off and his wig came with it and he's bold as a coot underneath.
Well.
Oh, wouldn't that be an image for the newspapers? Who knew? Wow. I'm going 3-1 tomorrow. Tomorrow I've done it again. There you go. The match is not tomorrow. It's Wednesday night, guys. Please do not go to St. James's Park tomorrow. You'll have a very big disappointment. Dan says Bruno's going to get 3 assists. Hopefully. Listen, if you assist on 3 goals, it's as good as scoring, I guess. Ash says, Billy, some people do have hair, though, mate. That's a good point, Ash. I'm going 3-1. I believe the Palace will get a goal, and that would possibly be by a penalty, to be honest. I mean, they've had plenty this season, and the way Zaha throws himself to the floor and tries to trick the referees, and let's face it, he's tricked VAR a few times this season.
Yeah, they've had 7 penalties and scored 5 of them. We've had 2.
Julie says, I've gone very glitchy. Can hear you okay. Have I gone glitchy?
Yeah. A bit, aye.
Yeah, your pixels just dropped a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Has it gone back to normal now?
Yeah.
Looks like to me.
Yeah, I did get the internet signing me a little corner, so I think it just dropped a little bit there. So it dropped pixels. But I'm back.
I've just been looking at their actually what happened at Chelsea as well. Just for context of who's tired and not tired. They played 5 at the back. Conor Gallagher couldn't play because Chelsea's his parent club. So Gallagher will start 100% because he'll be raring to go. They played Anderson and Guehi, their 2 starting centre-backs, played 90 minutes, so they'll be tired. Jeffrey Schlupp played, Zaha played, and Mateta played. But he made 4 changes. He brought on Jordan Ayew for Mateta 55 minutes in, and then he threw the kitchen sink. He put on, he just brought on everybody. So they did make 4 changes, but I would say a good maybe 7. Kouyaté, Anderson, Guehi. Yeah, a lot of first team players there that played against Chelsea. Jack Butland in goal. I forgot he was there. So there will be some tiredness potentially. Even their centre backs. Yeah, definitely have a go at their centre backs. They should be tired.
Good stuff. The Heather Maudsley has joined us to comment. The Sunderland fan. Someone has to be with a laughing emergency. Well, good evening, Heather. Alan says, get a pink mic for tomorrow, Paul. Why do I need a pink mic? No. Just no. Anyway, lots of shows coming up this week. As people well have known, that they have the notifications on. We have pinged a lot. Tomorrow, 8:30, Fan Forum. Do join us live on the show for that. As usual, the link will be pinned at the top of the live comments, and it will be there before the show actually starts. I'm not sure which one of these Rowley crew will join me tomorrow for the Fan Forum, but some of them will have time off, obviously, to recuperate, and because there's a lot of shows this week, guys. Then on Wednesday night, match review. Yes, Thursday night. Is that Thursday night, the match review?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Right. Thursday night, we have the match review where we will sort of pick the bones out of the game and look back at the team selection, and obviously lots of stats with Alex. There's that one. Friday night is the match preview for the Norwich game. So hopefully we get something interesting from that. More graphics from Alex. You're going to be busy with them graphics this week, Alex, unfortunately. Saturday, 2 p.m. 2:30 is the live watch along with myself. Live commentary from Carrow Road, in which the Toon take on Norwich. And on straight after that, at 6 p.m., we have the match reaction. So I think we'll all be on for that. So that'll be at 6 p.m., basically an hour after the game. An hour after the game finishes or something like that. So we'll be back on to discuss that one as well. So absolutely humongous shows this week on the channel. If you have enjoyed tonight, please do hit the thumbs up for us. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel and like what you're seeing. You can become a member. Hit the join button underneath, or if you're on Apple, go to Instagram, click the link, and that'll take you back to the desktop on YouTube, and you just join that way. Bloody hell. You can join the Facebook group as well, guys. Instagram is available as well as TikTok. And finally, a big shout out to Geordie Riffs. Premium guitar lessons for beginners and children, guitar repairs and service, and 10% off each of your first one. First guitar lesson completely free, and a recording studio is available as well. Catch them at geordieriffs.co.uk, Instagram Geordie Riffs, and Facebook at Geordie Riffs Official. Give Graham and Natalie a shout for all your guitar needs as well. Danielle, Alex, Billy, thank you for tonight. It'll be a surprise to whoever's on with me tomorrow for the Fan Forum. We don't know yet. But thank you. We'll see you all back for the match review of the Palace game.
Depends how many people are shouting at Maxi or not. We'll see.
Well, fair, yeah, that's fair enough. And thank you, of course, backstage to Susan, Julie, Cesare, and Thomas, especially on his birthday, for modding the chat and make sure everything is as smooth as a baby's behind. But we'll be back live tomorrow night at 8:30 with the Fan Forum. There will be a video tomorrow from myself for Eddie Howe's press conference. So we'll have a look at what he's had to say about that. So keep your eyes open for that. Should be out about lunchtime tomorrow afternoon. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching the show, guys. And as usual, keep smiling, be kind, stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow night for the Fan Forum. Take care, guys.
Away the lads.